Ideally, when you buy into a franchise, you're investing in more than just a job. It's your career, complete with training, an avenue to upskill, and ultimately, the assistance of ongoing brand support. But support in business can stem far beyond just the brand. Hi, I'm Effie Zahos, and welcome to The Franchise Show. We catch up with three familiar Brumbies newbies and find out how their transition from trainees to store owners has transpired.
When the doors open to a new franchise, some people wrongly perceive that the doors close to business advice soon after. That's not the case, with franchise owners continuing to receive great advice for years to come. I know that when you first start out, you get a lot of help from the company that supports you.
Yep.
Has that continued?
Yes. With the training that I did at the academy, you can only take in so much, and then when you get into your store, you forget. So I have had to go back to my trainers, Donna, and she's given me that recap on productions and dough weights and all that kind of stuff. So I will always keep in contact with, especially with the franchise. If I need help in anything, I ring them straight away.
How useful is that to you to know that you just need to pick up the phone like that?
Helps me a lot. I mean, if they weren't there to take my calls or anything, I'd probably pretty much be doing it on my own, which is not where it should be. Franchises have their procedures and their kind of, not so much rules, but the way that you should have set tasks. And if they're not going to help me out in that, then I'll do it on my own.
Every customer asks me that's new owners, are you new owners, new refurbishment stores, everything is new now. So but our staff is very good, our staff and backers are very good, they support us.
We know about all of the bread names and everything, and just it's very easy, it's going quick,
So what would you say to anybody who wants to start a franchise or wants to be in a franchise?
Yes, franchise is a definitely good business because when we bought a new business, it's lots of difficulty in a business and everything. But if we got the franchisee, one franchisee knows everything about the business and how run it's, how business, going and everything. So we got all of the information from the franchisees.
So how would you describe your progression from day one to now?
100% better than day one. The first month was hard, doing the long hours, trying to work with the new staff, bakers. We've all kind of gelled now, and we're working a lot better as a team.
What would be your favourite thing about being a franchise owner now?
I think I just like meeting the customers and the awesome feedback I get from them. We get new customers in every week. It's good to have the regulars, but it's good to have those new customers in. Especially when you know your customers by name and they know you by name, it makes you feel like you're important, especially to the community.
I remember you told me when we last chatted that you weren't a natural business operator. Have you learned a lot since then?
I'm still learning. Yeah, look, it's a work in progress, but I am a lot better than 3 months ago.
Make sure you grab yourself a copy of the February issue of Money magazine, because inside is your complete guide to the franchise world, all the pros and cons that you need to help you sift through this dynamic sector. The Money magazine, out now. Could you run a successful franchise? Well, stay tuned, because we've got more useful info after this break. You're watching The Franchise Show. As a small business owner, you're likely to experience periods of smooth sailing and periods of rough seas. And despite your hard work and dedication, well, sometimes there are forces outside of your control, like an economic downturn, surging competition, and rising supplier prices can all impact the health of your venture. So it's good to know where you can turn to if your business does experience some financial difficulty. Now, as a starting point, speak with your bank and explain the situation. Under the Banking Code of Practice, lenders are required to try and help you out. Now, you may be offered support through a temporary increase in your overdraft or an extension of trade finance terms. Now, if you get no joy there, contact the Financial Ombudsman. If you're having trouble paying your BAS on time, get in touch with the tax office straight away. You could be eligible for a payment plan arrangement. And if you're struggling to pay the wages, talk to the Fair Work Ombudsman for the options open to you. Above all, resist the urge to tip more of your own cash in the business. A second mortgage in your home, for example, could add an injection of funds, but if it fails to revive your business, you could lose the roof over your head.
Hello, I'm Rod Webster, one of the directors of Q Shop Fitting. We've been involved with the brands for over 15 years. We do new shop fit-outs as well as refurbishment of existing stores. The process we are on today is for a Donut King going into Indooroopilly Shopping Centre. Q Shop Fitting is our manufacturing arm. We've done everything from local in Brisbane, Gold Coast to Perth, Melbourne, and we've also done stores in PNG and Fiji just recently. Shop Dog is a subsidiary of that business, and that is involved with all the supply of equipment, signage and furniture. So we get involved in what is the best products to use, what is the best layout, and sort of liaise with the design team. After a store's more or less tendered, we deal mainly with the project management team, which is going and measuring the site, and then once it's measured, we sort of go to setting it out in the factory, which is what you can see behind me. Once we have approved plans for the store, we set out the store on a blueprint. Once the plinth platform's laid out, we work our way up with the joinery and more or less follow our plan that shows us how we're going to build the shop. All the carcasses are made for the joinery, the doors applied, all the panelling work is done, and then we add on our signage panels and column panels, dependent on how that set out works with the store. Once this process is finished, all our table sizes, bench sizes and signage is checked to make sure that it all fits. This includes plumbing work and electrical work so that it makes the process a lot easier once we get to site. Once that's done, the shop's disassembled and loaded onto the truck for transport. We're midway through the build phase of the Indooroopilly shop. As you can see from previously, everything that was built on our showroom floor has now been replicated on site at the shopping centre. We have around 2 days to finish off prior to handover. Being that it's a busy shopping centre in the middle of Christmas trade, for ease of operation, we build the shop in our factory and then replicate that on site to cut down our exposure to the Christmas trade or any trade. We've arrived at handover day for this project in just under 3 weeks from start of manufacturing. Cabinetry is all fitted off, bench tops all sealed in, and as you can see behind me, we're just doing the final commissioning of the ice cream machine and frozen Coke machine, ready to go for Monday trading. As part of the shop fit, the safety aspects are also adhered to, whether it be the fire blanket, fire extinguishers or the CO2 monitor. All this is put into the store and ticked off by the certifier or the council representative to make sure that it's in accordance with the regulations for that area. Because we've been involved with the company for quite a period, we've sort of got long-standing relationships with franchisees that have been in the system. So yeah, we have a lot of clients that ring us on a weekly or monthly basis, depending on what they need. The owner can pretty well move in the last stages of when we're fitting off the shop. And that's really when we get involved with them and start sort of working out how they want things set up in their store. Any business that needs a shop fit, we're able to help them out.
The world of franchising is full of colourful characters. Get ready to meet another one next on The Franchise Show. Hi, and thanks for joining us. Have you missed an episode? Well, don't worry, because you can catch all the information on our website, franchiseshow.com.au.
All franchising agreements are different, and if you're looking to deviate from the supplier that is the preferred supplier for your franchisor, it's important that you make sure that you aren't in breach of your agreement. And also it means that you will be responsible for the reliability, quality and pricing of that particular product. If you choose to deviate from a preferred supplier, it may mean that you won't gain access to the group discount that they may already receive, and it could end up costing your business more money. So make sure you do your research.
Hello. So today we're in training at the RSPCA School for Dogs, a new franchise opportunity where good business, good practices and good friends all combine.
School for Dogs is a franchise and we offer it to anyone who's enthusiastic, has an aptitude to running their own business and likes animals. We've got a whole support team here, we've got a whole marketing team and we've got a support office. And also we provide ongoing training. The franchise is for 5 years and they also have an option to sign up for another 5 years. So at the end of the day, they have an asset, they're building up equity in their business and like any good franchise, if they sell it, they'll make money.
The RSPCA is such a well-known, well-respected brand. That really did draw us to the franchise possibility. Prospective franchisees have the opportunity to come through the course as a student with their own dog, so that's 1 hour per week for 6 weeks. Following that, then there is a 6-day training course, which again, you run through the course, but you actually learn how to teach the course. And at the end of that, there is a 1-day business training course as well, to just make sure that you're comfortable with the training material and you've got the confidence and support for that initial start off.
I wanted to give something back. I've worked at the mines, I've been away from my family, I've done what I've had to do, the hard yards, and then the RSPCA said, here, will you work with us? And it's like, yeah, this is meant to be. I love teaching the children. It gives them a direction, and because it's me, not their mum and dad saying anything, suddenly they listen to me and I become that person that it's like, this works, Mum, look what I'm doing. And the children are just growing with confidence and it's great.
So what did you learn today? What are the things that you'll take home and you'll train Willow differently now?
Don't pull on the lead and use chicken because it's her favourite food.
We learned how to teach her how to lay down and sit down and come when she's called.
We taught her really well on the loose lead walking, I think. I think that was probably the best thing.
She really responds well to food. You know, probably most dogs do, but it's good to know how to use the clicker as well to reward her, not just your food.
We're obviously not trying to teach dogs to go on X Factor. The idea is for them to learn basic manners so they can fit well in the community. And if that happens, we're going to get less animals coming into our shelters, which is obviously what we'd like. And so whatever support that we can give the franchisee, if you like, through the auspices of the RSPCA, well, that's obviously good for the franchisee. And of course, what the franchisee is doing for us is hopefully reducing the amount of animals that come into our shelters.
Maddie came from the RSPCA with only one eye. She went through some tough stuff before we adopted her, and it's probably, we just like that we can give back to the RSPCA. It's such a great cause.
People don't realise cats, dogs, whatever your animal is, they are a reflection of us. It is not do this, do this, do this. It is I treat you the way I would like to be treated. If you can't make a class, we make it up. If you're sick, we make it up. It's very much a family work together. And I ask all the clients, what do you need from me, rather than this is the class, this is what you do.
You know, the fact that it is around positive reinforcement, it's about encouraging the dog, it's about showing them what should be done. There's no punishment involved. If we can help people to keep dogs out of shelters in the first place, you know, what a wonderful thing. No dog deserves to go into a shelter.
Coming up next, we meet a passionate franchisee who's on the run, loving life and full of beans. You're watching The Franchise Show. Hi, you're back with The Franchise Show and I'm Effie Zahos. Now, brand support and the support of fellow franchisees is a valuable asset when investing in a franchise business. But support comes in many forms. Now, Cross not only offers ongoing assistance, but it has instigated a different support network hosted by franchisees for franchisees. It's called the DNA Committee.
We grew up in takeaways, so we kind of knew what was involved. Didn't know how to make pizzas. I knew how to eat pizzas, but not, no idea about, where to start.
Jim Stevia knows good food, and with a lifetime of diverse experience, even he was surprised at what was involved when starting up as one of the first crust franchisees in Concord nearly a decade ago.
Did you come into the business with some misconceptions about maybe how easy or how hard?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be quite easy because, you think pizzas, very straightforward, easy, but yeah, when you're dealing with so many different ingredients, it was a bit of a shock. We were the 5th or 6th store to open in crust in the brand. Speaking to the directors, the other franchisees, we just threw different ideas. Some people did things differently and you just learn, all right, that worked for you, let's try it. And it was trial and error at the beginning, but now that the brand's this big, we've tried a lot of them and we've stuck with the best way of doing things, so it's a lot easier now.
Asking for help or even knowing who to ask can sometimes be trickier than it seems. But one of the benefits of joining the Crust family is having access to a franchisee-run group called the DNA Committee.
The DNA Committee's a group of franchisees. We represent different states and we communicate back to head office any issues that any other franchisees have.
Issues including ingredients, marketing, packing, storage, suppliers, and so much more. And according to fellow DNAer Jim Albanakis, it's a fantastic communication tool to help avoid ineffective business.
It's a backbone of what we do because of the committee's involvement. We're purely not there to accept the decisions from up above, and I don't think they want to operate that way, so that's why they've got buy-in by us as the franchisees with head office, so any of the decisions that are made has to be approved by this committee, otherwise they're not deployed and rolled out.
And that can even include proposing new pizzas to stay with immediate trends. But according to Jim Stevia, the amount of brand support which has developed over the years has certainly made business so much better.
It's helpful, whereas you don't have to go and try things on your own, where a lot of people have already tried things and said, hey, don't bother, that hasn't worked, try it this way. And, you bring your costs down. You're not wasting money on things that have been tried and they haven't worked.
So again, it's another benefit of a franchise model.
That's right, yeah.
I'm Kieran Doyle. I'm the franchisee for Cafe de You in the Redlands. Being in a franchise, I wanted that support mechanism. I wanted someone to go, this is how you make a cup of coffee. And then, once every 3 months, they come and check. They make sure that I'm making the coffee properly. Well, you pay a franchise fee, I want value for money. And they give it to me. The interesting thing is this was only ever supposed to be like semi-retirement. But, I get so excited about what I'm doing, and you put a bit of effort into it, it becomes fun. And you make a lot of money. So Monday to Friday, we have a set route. I go out about 6:45 in the morning and I get home about 1:30, 2 o'clock every day. I've found that I haven't gone out one day where I don't come home with a couple of dollars in my pocket. It's pretty good, You open the door, everything's mobile, you make a buck. Being part of a franchise, you get that support mechanism. You got to take the information they give you, work with that information, and be prepared to be part of a franchise. It's always about the weakest link. So for me, I want to make sure that I'm up there, and I want the brand to make sure that every one of the people in the brand, as in the vans, have a strong presence and they do the right thing by the brand. So ultimately, that makes the brand strong. Cafe de You coffee does something that I don't believe a lot of coffee shops do, and that is they bring fun to people. I'd recommend it. Consistency, reliability, regularity, these are the things that our clients are looking for. So they like the fact that we turn up. You don't sell coffee. What you sell is relationship. I was talking to a girl this morning who came running out. She thought we were leaving, and she got up to have a cup of coffee and went, oh, I don't want instant. I'm going downstairs to get the real beans. And that's how you grow in this business. It starts off that they just come out and have a chat, and then it becomes regular. They want quality coffee. Espresso coffee in Australia is really big. The one thing I didn't want to be part of was locked into a store, mainly because if there's no customers, you can't do anything about it. With a mobile situation, we have a territory, we have a run. If I have customers, I stay and chat. But if you run out of customers, you go round the corner and there's always someone looking for a coffee.
Australia's largest multi-brand food franchisor is now looking for people like you to become small business operators across these iconic brands. To inquire about how you can own a business of your own, call 1800 067 619 or visit www.rfg.com.au. Start your franchising journey today.
Investment in franchisees and offering them active support systems is one pivotal way franchisors can help generate excitement and maintain commitment to the brand, in turn helping both parties achieve a better bottom line. I'm Effie Zahos, and thanks again for joining us on your Sunday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next week on The Franchise Show.